I want everybody to take a moment to sit back, relax, and come to terms with the fact that they've either scammed or were scammed by somebody online while they were a child. And while we all continue to get scammed in our adult lives by influencers and shady digitally based businesses, in this video I want to particularly focus on scams that take place on virtual world gaming websites aimed at kids. The first type of scam I'm going to talk about are traditional scams. In my opinion, traditional scams are scams that hurt people financially or their sense of security. These usually would almost always take place on games that have a trading or gift exchange system in place. For virtual worlds that carried items that had real-life monetary value, functioning economies and criminal organizations would emerge, causing incredible amounts of chaos and damage. I think the most famous example would be Habbo Hotel, a site that includes everything ranging from outrageously rigged casinos to ridiculous pyramid schemes. I won't talk any further about Habbo Hotel or high-stakes crimes that happen on these types of games due to the fact that I myself don't have much experience dealing with it, and because another YouTuber named Tolligarch made 2 fantastic videos covering this topic. I'll link his videos in the description below. For games with trading systems, a scam can take the form of 2 players promising to trade items of similar value, but in actuality, the player who's conducting the scam trades an item that's worth significantly less than the one they promised. For example, I orchestrated a scam like this on Animal Jam when I was a child. I gave them a common heart-shaped necklace that anybody could purchase for a small amount of coins in exchange for a bow and arrow set, an item that was available to paying members of the website. In order for the scam to work, I had to make sure that the other person entered their item into the trade before I did, so that once I entered my item in, they had no chance to back out or even see what item I was giving them. My scam was successful, but I ended up feeling bad for the other player, so I returned it to them after they expressed how distraught they were by spamming Animal Jam sad emoji in chat. For games with a gift exchange system, usually players will make an informal deal with each other to trade items, but since there's no protection set in place, it's based purely on trust within each other to see the deal through. Needless to say, a lot of the times the outcome would be one player sending an item but never receiving one back in return. Another common traditional scam was random people pretending to be moderators or staff of a virtual world game and then asking other players to send their usernames and passwords so that they could quote-unquote gift their accounts with free in-game currency and rare items. This would be most successful in games that allowed people to have private conversations with each other, such as Pixie Hollow and Our World. The next type of scams I'm going to cover are socially immoral scams. Socially immoral scams are scams that hurt or impact people on a social level. These scams can take place on any virtual world game because most, if not all, have some type of culture and/or beliefs which are inherent to a specific community. Usually, these types of scams come in the form of players feigning parts of their identity or engaging in socially unacceptable relationships and behaviors. An example of this can be someone who has multiple pseudo-romantic partners in a virtual world game in which it's seen as immoral to do so. On Pixie Hollow, I orchestrated a similar scam to this one. Instead of romantic partners, I had multiple sets of family units, which was seen as a form of betrayal on there, though I was lucky enough never to get caught. Another common form of this was players acting as different genders for a period of time only to reveal that they were another gender all along for the sole purpose of hurting someone, often in a romantic or humiliating sense. This type of thing happened on Club Penguin and Woo's World a lot because there was no such thing as gendered clothing, and so it was easy to switch into whatever clothes they thought represented the identity they wanted to quote-unquote trick people with. I have more thoughts on sincere gender identity and expression on these types of games, but I'll discuss that in a later video more in depth. As I covered in my Crimes on Pixie Hollow video, stealing and using the property of other players is also heavily looked down upon. The lives people led on these games were treated in a serious manner, so it makes sense somebody might feel violated when they walk into their virtual home one day and see that it's full of strangers pretending that your house is actually their house. But of course, as you all know, that didn't stop me. It was absolutely my #1 go-to scam, and I'd do it again. Unfortunately, for those who play and have played on these virtual world gaming websites, socially immoral scams are something nobody can get away from. Most people both participate and fall victim to them. Anyways, this marks the end of my video. I'd love to hear your experiences of getting scammed or being a scammer, so feel free to share all that in the comment section below. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos by me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.